A few months ago I did a lesson on playing triplets and actually picking triplets and kind of adding them to Irish tunes and what your right hand should be doing. I want to take that a little bit further, and I want to show you a way of not cheating but making those triplets or playing triplets a bit easier and therefore being able to play faster. And it's all about utilising hammer-ons and pull-offs. So let me take an example, and before I dive into this, let me say there's a PDF worksheet that kind of goes hand in hand with this video that you can download for free via the link below. And I'm going to start with an example of hammer-ons, on how using a hammer-on could not only makes the right hand easier but means you can play it a bit quicker. So if we took a little triplet that just went, so 2, 4, open, there are your triplets, or E, F sharp, A, and then a B to finish. So at the moment I'm picking all of those notes, and then at the end of it I'm having to do a double down to make sure that note that it comes out on, which is on the beat, stays down as it should be. See, a double down there. But if we replace the middle one of the three, so the F sharp, with a hammer-on from the first one, so we hammer on, so we just do down and then hammer on. We could then cheat a little bit and play the third one as an up, which brings us back to a down for the note after the triplets, which should be a down. So very slowly it looks like this. So my right hand's actually only picking, that's all my right hand's doing, and my left hand is hammering on for the 4. So instead of now going, which is tricky, you're now just going, utilising a hammer-on. So your right hand's having to work so much less than picking everything, which is difficult. It's doable but difficult. The same applies for a pull-off. So if we took a phrase that kind of went, so it's C sharp, B, A are your triplets, and then just the B to finish. Same thing happens again. You need the double down at the end. If you replace the same one, so the middle one, if you don't pick the middle one, you do a pull-off instead. So, and then you shift your up stroke to the last of the 3. So I'll do that slowly. Down, pull-off, up, down. So you're only picking that, and then you're pulling off the middle one. And you're trying to get the pull off to be even. You don't want it to be a grace note. You don't want. You want it to be the same length. So yeah, that's how you can use pull-offs and hammer-ons. You could also do a slide down in that instance, or a slide up in the first instance. That's the same thing. It's basically any of those 3 that replaces a pick stroke, which means your right hand doesn't have to work quite as hard. It's such a cheap way of playing triplets, and you get some really nice sounding ones. So I've got 3 little exercises to help you learn that. The first one is all hammer-ons. It's hammer-ons going up across the strings on 2 and 4 on every fret, and then 3 and 5. So you can do it with first and second finger, and then second and third finger. So if we try that together, nice and slow. That speed. 3, 4. And again. And again. Speeding up a bit. Again. And just keep speeding it up until, keep speeding it up. You can eventually kind of get some pretty quick sounding triplets, and really all your right hand is picking is, that's all your right hand's doing. Your left hand's doing the other work. So the next exercise is the same thing, but pull-offs on the way down. Sounds like this. It's a little trickier with the pull-offs. You have to really work hard to make that pull-off sound. It's not a lift-off. People kind of just remove their hand and say it's not making a sound. You've actually got to pull the string to get that sound. So again, I'm going to start slow. Just kind of join in with me. This is another repeat until clean and fast. So 3, 4. And again. Speeding up a bit. Just keep speeding it up. Again, just keep speeding it up until you get to E, and again you can get some nice sounding. Kind of sounds triplety, even though again your right hand is only going. That's all your right hand's doing. Your right hand's basically only picking quaver notes, and your left hand's doing the hard work in this, rather than going picking every note. It makes it so much easier. There's one more exercise I want to do, which combines the both. It does a hammer-on, a pull-off, hammer-on, pull-off, hammer-on, pull-off in triplets, going all the way up the string. And it's the phrase I use most often. It's kind of a hammer-on triplet and a pull-off triplet. Kind of a really nice way of linking some phrases together. So again, I'm just going to start nice and slow and kind of join in, and we'll gradually speed it up. About that speed. 3, 4. And again. And again. And again. And again, just keep speeding it up. You know, you can get some, again, really nice fast sounding triplets that all your right hand is picking is. That's all your right hand's picking, and your left hand's putting in the others. And again, the sort of the specific notes are not important. You don't always have to play 2 and 4. You can do 2 and 5. So don't worry about the specific notes. This is just kind of I'm hopefully giving you the starting point for making triplets easier, and then you take it away and find out what you like, what you don't like, and sort of start putting it into tunes. And we'll do an example of that now. If we were to take the A part of the Cherokee Shuffle, which on its own sounds like this. That's the A part. There's quite a few places there. This is a good tune where you can add some triplets of the style of what we've done. Not exactly the same notes as the exercises that we did. But there's quite a few options for where you could add some triplets. So I'm going to play that for you now. If you want to see the tab for this, it's linked below. And this is just sort of a little example of how I would use this little triplet technique to add triplets that sound fancy but are actually a bit of a shortcut. So it sounds a little like this. And then a big run. So it sounds a little silly it's slowed down. So I'll play it a bit more up to speed. Sounds like this. And again. Hopefully you can hear that I'm adding those triplets in with pull-offs and hammer-ons. I'm not really working that much harder with my right hand. It's all the left hand that's now doing the work. And that's a little, I wouldn't add that many triplets. That's a little extreme, just to show you of where in a tune you could use it. You know, quite often it's the ending phrase of a tune, just to kind of add a little frill. Yeah, so the idea is you now take this and do what you want with it. I've just given you the theory basic, and just apply it wherever you want. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you want anything else, if you have any questions, head over to mandolmike.com, and we'll see you next month.